How the fuck is you gonna tell me about some shit you ain't never seen, bitch ass nigga?
That tastes like promotion!
She belongs to the streets.
Are you coming first? Are you fucking coming first?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Come on, James.
Hello, faggot lovers everywhere.
Stop it.
Anita Maxwin. Maxwin.
I'm not some slave of yours, boy.
What's your name, nigga?
Oh,
hell no!
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar!
I beg your pardon.
What?
Assalamu alaikum, my niggas. What's good?
None of these niggas have any motion. How can you call it a movement when you have no motion?
Real Batman.
1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
We live in a dream world already while you're awake. Why do I say that? You could look around at everything around you, like the light, the fan, the table, the couch, everything. And it's somebody's intent. Somebody had to, like, it was an idea in somebody's head, and literally they dreamt it up and they brought it into reality. And it's crazy because, like, literally everything, you don't understand how intricate it is. Like, it was explained to me, for example, like, one person cannot make a pencil. You gotta get the wood from someplace on planet Earth. You gotta get the lead from someplace on planet Earth, the rubber, the metal. And at each one of those industries, there's tens of thousands of people working together. So not only is it a dream, but it's a collaborative dream. So like, the whole thing is like, which we'll get back to, like, one of my ideas was like, kind of school kind of fucks you up because they like test you individually, you know what I mean? Where literally the rest of life is a collaboration game. Like everything you see, like this can, this bottle, this whatever, every single ingredient, even on this lotion or whatever, had to come from a different place. And like the idea for this thing, so people can now literally come up with the idea and they can get the plastics or whatever, they can get somebody to mold the thing and whatever and mass produce or whatever. So, but everything you look at, like even the sidewalks, everything that's not nature, it's literally was dreamed up in somebody's head and now it exists in real life. And you don't even think about it. And that's kind of like, I was thinking about even the Steve Jobs reference that I was thinking about was like, once you understand that, you realize like reality itself is like this weird membrane thing. So you can kind of like push, he said you can kind of like push here and something's gonna pop out over here.
Everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing.
And we were talking earlier, but I think we were talking about like last week, we were talking about like the double slit experiment. This is one of the most trippiest things. This is like some of the most fundamental, smallest things you can observe in our reality, I guess, when it comes to our human perception. But like the double slit experiment of like, if you're recording or you're trying to detect the photon, it chooses one of those slits. But if you're not, it literally acts like a wave, and then you'll see on the back of it, the interference pattern literally looks like a wave instead of, but then when you look at it, it's like, it chooses the thing. So that's literally like your intent or your awareness or you're just trying to capture it. And it doesn't even have to be a human awareness. It's a detector, obviously, because these things cannot be seen by the human eye. So once you try to detect it, so that's even a proxy for consciousness or for like observation, they call it, which is kind of fucking like the smallest parts of our reality, like the most like the quantum level, the photonic, electronic, atomic level, it doesn't go by any of the rules in the world that we can perceive. So just the awareness, so just like you trying to detect the photon is going to choose a different thing. Like there's so, like, this is what I love. Like, I love to operate on like the brink of my understanding. So like there's a Nobel Peace Prize, I think got it in 2022 or 2023. These guys are they proved the universe is not locally real. What does that mean? it's basically loading like a video game. If nobody's observing it, it's not there. Which is kind of how computation works in our video games. And it's kind of like it goes back to that old saying of like if a tree falls in the wood and then nobody's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound.
It does.
It doesn't. If nobody's also, you're right. That's very confusing. But the simple is if nobody's there to perceive it, the thing doesn't exist. So what is the whole universe? Is it just a bunch of awarenesses perceiving things? Because right now the moon won't go away because we're not perceiving because there's so many billions of people trying to perceive it. You know what I'm saying? So what is perceiving the rest of the universe? Even light, that double slit experiment, right? It even works with light traveling from the stars. So they did that experiment of basically the light obviously have to choose a path. This is the light coming from 2 million light years away. So millions of years of light go, the light left. But when they try to do that double slit experiment, right? It literally chooses a path. It's the fucking weirdest thing. So it's like people always try to use like a simulation or video game or whatever, but it's just today's analogy. Before it was a dream within a dream or whatever. Side note, I always think like you can give away, like the language gives it away sometimes. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream, which is the real bar. You know what I mean? Life is a dream. So let me keep going.
We're at the beginning of a new wave of research. Our creative powers are being stretched. We're learning surprising things about how we sense the world around us.
This is another thing of like awareness and intention, right? So they did like a light. So there's a light. So think about like a square room, right? And there's a light that's basically attached to like a random number generator. And basically the number generator is attached to like a grid on the floor. So it's gonna shine a certain spot randomly, right? When you put a plant in the room, like there's a real crazy significant statistical significance where literally the random light will literally be way clustered towards the life of the plant that needs it.
Here's how he described the experiment. You have a room with no windows and you have a houseplant that needs light to grow. You have a single light up on the roof. The growing light can turn in one of 4 quadrants, and which quadrant that light is showing is controlled by a random number generator. So you put the plant in one corner of the room. The light has an equal chance of shining in all 4 quadrants, but if you give it enough time, what you'll find is that the light actually shines far more often on the plant than on the other coordinates. He concludes with, it's as though life itself, even life or consciousness in something as simple as a houseplant, bends probability in the physical world in the direction of what it needs, in the direction of its growth and evolution.
There's another thing that I want to talk about that fucking blew my mind. Everybody knows about paranoia. Everybody's out to get me, the world's out to get me, something's bad's gonna happen or whatever. One of my favorite things, one of my favorite things to think about is the opposite of that. What is the opposite? And it exists, it's called pronoia. And literally, I think I have that, because it's pronoia. It's literally, it's like this. The world and the universe and people are secretly conspiring to do good for me. Like, think about that. That's a fucking, like, because if you have paranoia, it's going to affect your life a certain way. You know what I mean? But like, how could pronoia affect you? It's going to affect your life positively. If everything you see is good, this is, even the setback, you're like, the universe is conspiring to do good for me. Like, if you have a pronoia outlook, it's fucking insane what you could do with that. Because people never think about the opposite side of certain things. Like, that concept, the opposite side exists. And once you hear the word pronoia, it's like sticks in your brain. I love it. Once I heard that word pronoia, I'm like, yes, I like it. I like this. Yes. This is another one that another one of those examples that's like the opposite of a concept, right? We all know placebo effect, and people don't even understand like how powerful the placebo effect is. Like, it's, yeah, we all know the doctor gives you a sugar pill, you get better, but like literally every drug that they do, they literally have to double-blind placebo test, because the placebo effect is so strong that literally you have to make sure the drug that you're doing is stronger than placebo in every fucking drug. So like, just the fact that that's a thing, and then people are like, all right, I mean, like, it's not even talked about. Like, so that is really mind over matter type thing. The opposite of that exists, the nocebo effect, where if you believe something is bad for you, your body will literally feel like it's poison or it's bad. And how much things are they literally telling us it's bad for you, and it might not even be that bad. We're just told it is. I'm not going to go into certain things, but tobacco, nicotine is one of those things. not smoking, but nicotine poisoning. But the nocebo effect. There's a story that I heard. I think it was like this guy Michael Tablet on like a Thinking Aloud. He was talking about this guy who had cancer, right?
There's a very famous example of a fellow who had lymphatic cancer, tumors the size of oranges all throughout his body. His doctor basically thought he had about 3 days left to live. The fellow heard about a new drug called Crebiozin and said, "You've got to give this to me." And the doctor said, "Well, frankly, I don't think you have long to live, and this drug takes several weeks to take effect." The man implored him, and the doctor gave in sort of as an act of pity. He gave the man Crebiozin, and 3 days later, the man's tumors melted, as the doctor put it, like snowballs in a hot stove, completely gone out of his body, faster than the strongest radiation treatment could have melted them away. The man is up and around, walking around his hospital room, resumes his normal life, seems to be completely cancer-free. Several months down the line, he reads an article saying Crebiozin isn't that effective. Boom, 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 all his tumors come back. He's back in the hospital. The doctor starts to realize that maybe it wasn't the drug that cured the man, but the man's belief. So he lies to the man and he says, "Those articles are wrong. Crebiozin is effective, and in fact, I've got an even more potent version of it." He injects just salt water into the man's veins. Again, the man's tumors melt away. He resumes his normal life. Unfortunately, many months down the line, he reads final studies on Crebiozin saying it's completely ineffective. Boom, 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 his tumors come back and he dies.
But like that's a nocebo effect, placebo effect kind of fucking story, which is fucking. And you should look it up. Michael Talbot on New Thinking Aloud. It's like one of those old. It really looks like an old PBS interview. It looks like it's filmed in the '70s or whatever. But that guy had cool stories about he had cool ideas about the holographic nature of the universe. All the information in the universe is in every single little pixel. And it's like a hologram. The real hologram is not like a shiny thing. It's like if you have a picture of a horse and you go down to one pixel and you look at that pixel, the whole horse is in that pixel. That's what a hologram is. So he was saying that was one of his ideas. Oh, this is another idea that I have. It's like a French idea, but I'm still developing it. I don't know, but I'm thinking about it. It's like if that's powerful on the individual level, right? How powerful is our collective unconscious or our collective ideas of what's bad and what's good or.
Is this the way you feel in the morning? Still tired after a good night's sleep? Too dragged out and nervous to face the day? Too tired? Too often? Try Ributol. If you
fucking not anything, we're gonna figure this out. All right, manners.
Concept of multiple discovery, known as simultaneous invention.
Yes, it happens. We're apart, and then people are figuring it out at the same time. It's like an idea is landing on Earth, and people pick it up. Even there's even people talk about the movie, and Michael Jackson said this. I need to record this. The idea hit him at 3 a.m. I need to record this before Prince gets it.
Yes.
So keep going.
Well, commonly cited examples of multiple independent discovery are the 17th century independent formulation of calculus by Isaac Newton.
Yes, and then some other guy figured out calculus at the same time.
Yeah, Leibniz, I don't know.
Okay, what's the next one?
Theory of evolution. Discovery of oxygen by Carl Stroh. A bunch of other people.
Okay, this is another cool one that picks up. It's like you're picking up information from the ether. And this one transcends space and time. There's literally authors, right, that write fictional stories, right? And it happens in reality later. Have you heard about the Titanic and the Titan? You heard about that, right? This guy writes a fictional thing about this ship called the Titan, unsinkable, whatever. Literally gets in his story gets sunken by a ship. Then years later, the real Titanic story happens. There's one about a guy who talks about these people that got stowed away or whatever, and they ate one of the crewmates or whatever. And he named him in his story. You should look up that one. That was a good one. Where it's like this guy, author, he wrote a story about author that wrote stories before they happened, I guess. But that's one of the big examples. And he named the motherfuckers in his story, right? The stowaways that ate I guess one of the crew boy, and the names matched up. So that's interesting. So stories that these guys pick up, right, through their creativity, or I guess the people, even anybody who's creative, when you make music, when you draw, when you whatever, it's literally it's not like you're doing it. It's kind of like something's happening, you're just kind of going with the flow. You know what I mean? You're kind of like an instrument, even though you're using instruments yourself. But so these motherfuckers are not only picking up something in the ether or in the mind space, in the hive mind, but it's temporal too. It's literally, it doesn't even, it's not even confined to a certain time. So back to intentions and awareness. Dr. Emoto and his experiments. If you guys don't know, Dr. Emoto, I guess, is a Japanese scientist. He did experiments with rice, and he did 3 little things, and he replicated this, and his stuff has been replicated. You can do it by yourself. It's fucking awesome. This will show you, don't fucking talk shit to yourself, bro. Talk to yourself. Will fucking build your fucking. Where the fucking hell is? He did the experiment with rice. So one rice he'll talk shit to. You fucking suck. You're fucking disgusting. You're ew. You're gross. You know what I mean? One he just ignored. Didn't neutral. Didn't do nothing. And the other one he gives love. Oh my God, I love you. You're amazing. This and that. And you can literally see, tracking through time, through every fucking the videos every day. The one with the hate just rots at a crazy rate. This one neutral, it rots, but not really that. This one is still fresh to death, not even touched by mold or anything like that. And it's the exact same sealed like environment or whatever, you know what I mean? And this could be replicated. I've seen people replicate it. He also did a lesser known one, certain things to ice crystal. So basically crystal, like, you know, when you look at it on a microscope, it looks like that cool kind of like a snowflake, and nothing has the same type of shape, but those type of size. So he was saying certain things to ice crystals as they form. So he'll say hate, like all these ugly fucking things, disgust or whatever, and you'll literally see no symmetry, like literally something breaking in on itself or whatever. And everything has good vibration, good energy, love, honesty, this, that, whatever, togethership or whatever. Beautiful, cool, different structures, perfectly solid, you know what I mean? Like geographically, literally, like not geographically, like geometrically, look fucking like laid out perfectly. That shit blew my mind too. Like, and I showed you the other day, it was about the Reiki healing. They literally did studies where they have certain different type of measures, right? And they're trying to reduce the amount of cancer cells inside these rat tissue or whatever. And they literally did Reiki healing, and this motherfucker reduced the amount of cancer cells by like somewhere a 70+%, which is insane. But any good boy who ever got a tummy ache and your mommy rubbed your tummy, and say, that's literally Reiki healing, bro. You feel better when your mommy rubs your tummy, bro. You agree? I know you agree. Anyway, the boys, when mommy rub your tummy, you get better because it's fucking Reiki healing and it works. So yo, should we be laughing at those crystal ladies? Oh, I have crystals, energy healing, whatever. That shit is real.
Anything is real if you believe it, though. Right? You have to believe it.
That's what we're talking about. Yes, aware with enough belief, it becomes your reality. Or what the craziest thing is, getting a bunch of people to believe something. Then it really gets powerful. That's why that's why like I have like this weird thing with cults. I'm like fascinated by them. Also maybe because we're gonna start a cult. You better fucking. I'm speaking to you through your mind. You're not schizophrenic. You actually need to join my cult.
The brain, a pulpy mass of cells and fibers, is the center of the network of fibers that make up man's nervous system.
Haven't had ass in 3 days. Water supply is going down. It's getting cold.
What else are you doing? Oh, this is another one that really blew my mind. They did an experiment with the placebo effect with surgery. Knee surgery, right? There's a bunch of people in the UK that have to get, a bunch of guys that have to get knee surgery. They put them all under. Half of them, they actually did the surgery. The other half, they just cut it and they stitch it back up. Months later, they all recovered at the exact same rate. So this is not pills anymore. This is like ligaments and shit like that. Like, what the fuck is happening? Fucking kind of creepy, right? Like one of my favorite quotes is, reality is stranger than any fucking fiction. Like if you try to write a sci-fi that's as weird as this fucking life we're living, it's fucking strange. So it goes back to this idea of, is your consciousness or your awareness local? Meaning, like, is it generated by the brain? Or are you like tapping into something, like basically like a radio or like a TV or a signal? Are you tapping into the signal, right? And which is like a receiving kind of angle of consciousness. There's like the overall consciousness that exists in everything and everywhere, right? And you're just like receiving your version of it, and you're filtering it down because you can't handle all the other, you know what I mean? like even when you're under certain duress or certain psychedelics or like certain near-death experiences or whatever, you literally like your consciousness gets out of your body. You're like, what, like you realize how much of a filter or like a pressure, lowering valve of the big ass consciousness it was. Like one of the biggest things that people say when they have like a near-death experience and they get slammed back into their body, they're like, bro, getting constricted, all of my consciousness and my awareness, getting constricted into the body was like the most painful thing ever. It was worse than whatever killed them.
What we're doing is we're exploring. We're trying to find out as much as we can about the world. People say to me, are you looking for the ultimate laws of physics? No, I'm not. I'm just looking to find out more about the world. And if it turns out there is a simple ultimate law that explains everything, so be it. That would be very nice to discover. If it turns out it's like an onion with millions of layers and we're just sick and tired of looking at the layers, then that's the way it is. But whatever way it comes out, its nature is there and she's going to come out the way she is. And therefore, when we go to investigate it, we shouldn't pre-decide what it is we're trying to do except to find out more about it.
Getting restricted into the body again. So it's kind of fucking interesting. So it's like, is our consciousness local or is it like a signal? And I've always been talking about like what is like a concept of ether, right? Because they're trying to figure out basically like everything needs something to pass through. So, but what they're trying to figure out was how does light go through space when there's nothing there? Like it's a vacuum. Like everything we understand, like it needs a medium to transfer like through. So like right now, sound is just the air fluctuations, and I'm basically like fluctuating the air with your voice, and I'm picking up on that. It's just the vibration, but that's in a medium of air. There's no like the sound is different. Like you can't really like you need certain like subsonic or whatever under the sea. How the whales and the dolphins communicate. You know what I mean? It's not even our sound anymore. So even sound waves or whatever. Energy kind of has to go through a medium, right? People are trying to figure out, well, what is like, and that's why they propose ether, like, because the vacuum, how's the space a vacuum? How can light travel through it? And even when light goes into air, it travels different. When it hits water, it slows down. You know what I mean? Like you could see how it hits certain mediums. Like what the fuck is a medium? So,
is a single universal field of intelligence, a field which unites gravity with electromagnetism, light, with radioactivity, with the nuclear force, so that all the forces of nature and all the so-called particles of nature, quarks, leptons, protons, neutrons, are now understood to be one. They're all just different ripples on a single ocean of existence. That's called the unified field or superstring field, and it's a mathematical tour de force. But we have realized Einstein's dream. He dedicated half of his life to discovering this unified field, and now in the context of the superstring, that has been achieved.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
I meditated really hard one time, and I could literally perceive like a field of reality. It's almost like a diamond grid, and it was going through 3D space, and it would fill up. And like I'm telling you, like there are certain things you could do and certain practices you could do that literally will show you the video game of life. And synchronicities are one of the best ways to like kind of like tap in and listen to it, right? Because you can't even like ever tell somebody about it. Like they will never understand how much it means. It's literally something significant happening in the world, and there's no like cause or effect, and it literally has to do with a direct thought. And the craziest one is not only when you get direct thought thing reflected in the world right back at you. The third one, once you get a pa, that's a real good thought. That's a real. So always be aware for synchronicities. You had one today, you just don't remember, right? But the more, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like it's like anything else. The more you try to remember, like be aware of synchronicities, you'll find them everywhere. And it's like the cosmic giggle. It's like the universe laughing at you. You know what I mean? But I want to go back to the idea of like us not being one thing. You're not one thing. Like think about you as a person, right? You're literally made up of trillions of cells. And each one of them in certain levels of magnification, they're fighting each other. There's viruses coming in, there's you're made up of all this bacteria that's not even human genome. You know? At one level of magnification, it looks like chaos. Motherfuckers eating each other, there's consummation, there's recycling of dead things or whatever, you know what I mean? It looks like chaos. But on another level of your liver or whatever or you as a whole, that's a healthy organism, right? Alan, this is a cool idea that I picked up, I think earlier today from Alan Watts. I was listening to one of his talks. Conflict at one level can be harmony at another. And a good exercise is the cops are like the police and the bad guys, literally in every city, right? Bro, they're like an organism of the health of the society. Just like even technology, the white hat, they have to build better security and the hackers get better or whatever, and they just evolve technology, right? Hey, guess what? They have to play cops and robbers because they literally have to make it as safe as possible. These motherfuckers are testing these motherfuckers, and these motherfuckers, they need each other. It's like back and forth, black and white, you know what I mean? You realize, bro, imagine you're like their white blood cells or whatever, you know what I mean? Certain things. Sometimes you need a little bit of agitation to make the system healthy. If it doesn't get to respond and fight off things, if the immune doesn't get to be, like if you like bubble a child, you know what I mean? They're gonna have a weak immune system. We let them play in the fucking mud, they get a strong immune system, you know what I mean? So conflict at one level could be harmony at another.
Conflict at one level is health at another. Just as conflict going on between microorganisms in your bloodstream is absolutely essential to the health of your organism as a whole. But you're not aware of that conflict going on, because conscious attention doesn't need to, ordinarily to focus upon it. And so you don't get involved, and you're not anxious about what party is winning and what party is losing. They're keeping up a kind of balance.
Which is a cool idea. And then I want to go back to the hive mind of like, which we probably feel like now more than ever. I can literally do this in my fucking space and literally blast it out. It's there for however long it is, and everybody could see it. But like, the more connected we are, the more we literally feel like a hive mind. If you speak English now in the world, like in 2026, we have one world culture. We laugh at the same memes, we watch the same movies, we listen to the same music. It's literally one, like, it's like a, this is probably what you develop like before you get world government.
What?
Like one world consciousness, kind of like one world culture. And it incorporates the best parts of everything. We listen to Afro beats, we'll listen to island, we'll listen to Korean music, we'll listen to country music, we'll listen to the Eurovision, we'll listen to whatever. I fucking can't remember the song right now. So, the next episode, we're gonna talk about how like the consciousness field affects even the most things that you think are dumb or just inanimate or whatever.
Vem är du?
Jag är döden.
Kommer du för att hämta mig?
Jag har redan länge gått vid din sida.
Det vet jag.
Är du beredd?
Min kropp är rädd. Inte jag själv.